That's crazy, bro. All right, y'all. We back online, man. That's great. What we at with it?
Matthew 26 and 35.
Matthew 26 and 35, man. That's crazy.
Peter said unto him, Though I should die with you, yet will I not deny you. Likewise also said all the disciples. Then come Yahushua with them into a place called Gethsemane, and said unto the disciples, Sit you here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful,
even unto
death. Tarry you here and watch with me.
That's good. So we was in Deuteronomy 28. The point that we were establishing was the stream back on my junk just lost connection. And instead of skipping like back in the days, he just stopped, dropped, shut them down, and opened up shop. 28 and 65, man, Deuteronomy.
And among these nations shall you find no ease, neither shall the sole of your foot have rest. But Yahuwah shall give you there a trembling heart, failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
So we just seen him going through that.
And your life shall hang in doubt before you. You shall fear day and night. You shall have none assurance of your life.
In the morning,
you shall say, Would Elohim it were evening.
At even,
you shall say, Would Elohim it were morning.
For the fear
of your heart
wherewith
you shall fear,
and for the sight
of your eyes
which you shall
see.
And Yahuwah
shall bring you into Egypt again with ships,
by the way
whereof I spake unto you,
and you
shall see it no more again. There shall you be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen,
and no man
shall buy.
Now, this is what we're gonna deal with. Go ahead and tell them what ships is. Ships is the yes sir, Ernest. Ships is the same word. Excuse me. Ships is the same word that we just read in Genesis 49 with Zebulon.
Neon as ship, men of ships, seamen.
Seamen. So we can look at Yahuwah shall bring you into Egypt again with Onay. Yahuwah Baruch said, is this ships or is this men? Who could know? Then he said, you will see it no more again, and you'll be sold unto your who?
Enemies.
Tell them what enemies is, man.
Enemy. Personal or national? Enemy. Foe, an adversary.
A foe or an adversary. You'll be sold unto your adversaries. Bondman.
Bondman, that's a bed, slave, servant.
So now you're a slave. You're locked up, and they won't let you out, Civic. And no man shall buy, because you ain't there. So buy.
That is kanal. To get, acquire, create, buy, possess.
No one will buy you. No one will possess you. No one will acquire you. Now, again, read Genesis 49 and 13 while I get Deuteronomy 33. 33 and 18.
Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea. He shall be for a haven of ships.
He'll be for a haven of ships.
And his border unto Zidon.
So he'll be a seashore or a coast or a dwelling place for ships or seamen, if you would. Men, wayfaring men. Deuteronomy 33 and 18. And Zebulon, he said, rejoice, Zebulon, in your going out, and Issachar in your tents. Then they shall call the people unto the mountain, and there shall they offer sacrifices of righteousness, for they shall suck of the abundance of the seas and of treasures hid in the sand. Now he said, rejoice, Zebulon, in your what?
Going out.
Give him Numbers 27, man, and 17. Now remember, there's three things we're supposed to remember from Zebulon from what we read in Genesis 30 and 20. The dowry, the dwelling, and the exaltation. You know what I'm saying? She said, my husband's giving me a good dowry. Now my husband will dwell with me. I will call his name Zebulon. Zebulon, by definition, means exalted. We look at the dwell because the passage says that. You know what I'm saying? Along with the dowry. Now I'm gonna pause for a moment after we'll read Numbers 27 and 17.
Which may go out before them, which may go in
Make it
before
24, 14. That sounds like I missed something. 27 and 14.
For you rebelled against my commandment in the desert of Zin and the strife of the congregation to sanctify me at the water before their eyes.
Might have been 15 minutes. Okay, come on.
That is the water of Meribah and Kadesh.
Meribah means the waters of strife.
And Moses spake unto Yahuwah, saying, Let Yahuwah the Elohim of the Ruachs of all flesh
set a what?
A man over the congregation.
And why?
Which may go out before them.
That might do what?
Go out before them.
And they'll do what?
Go in before them.
And what else?
Which may lead them out.
And what?
Which may bring them in.
And what else?
That the congregation of Yahuwah be not as sheep
that have no
shepherd.
Now, of course, you know that's in Kings, right? And of course, you can see that in Matthew 9. The sheep scattered, going about, having no one to guide them. And again, that's what it's about when you're talking about a man being over the people, is to guide them, not to rule over them. That's what the Gentiles do. They rule over each other, and they rule over each other with rigor. Your law say don't rule over one another with rigor. He said, you my bondmen and bond servants. You know what I'm saying? He said, you know the heart of the bondman. How could you do that? And we live in a land where niggas talk about chattel slavery day in and day out, and then seek to want to rule over somebody like these people, your bondmen. Y'all don't even pay attention to that. They don't even believe the same book they reading from. That's why them niggas skip over verses like that where talking about don't rule over each other like that. You had the heart of a bondman. Remember that. Don't do each other like that. You know what I'm saying? See, it's one thing to say, hey, we have to move things according to how the words say move it, and then ruling over people. There is a difference. Most of y'all ain't never been ruled over to know the difference. See, when people say, hey, no, we can't do this, we got to do it like this, you think that's oppression. No, it's congregations out here. These niggas oppressing people. You understand what I'm telling you? Like, I'm talking about ruling them with an iron fist. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and you'll sit back and look, I can't believe how them people go for that. Man, Lord give you a mind like that, you're gonna be ruled over like that too, and you're gonna enjoy every minute of it. You ain't even gonna think nothing wrong with it. Them people don't even think nothing wrong with it till they don't think it's nothing wrong with it. But the key thing that be going on is everybody be knowing everybody seeing, and don't nobody want to say nothing till it's time to slide. Now everybody want to do some exposure. I told you a while back, I forgot the lady and her husband we was watching, she was exposing Rebirth of a Nation. Congregation there, man. I don't give a damn what they gonna do to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know them people. I don't know what they doing or what they not doing. But what I will say is this here, is that they was describing injustices from their vantage point that was being done to other people, and they never said anything until it was did to them. I don't feel sorry for you, nigga, because when you seen that person get done like that and you felt it was wrong, you should have left then. And you should have said something then. Not sit there and watch 6, 7, 8 families get done dirty. Then when you get dirty, you want to tell your story and expose them and think I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. Nigga, I don't. Don't say something when it's you. You should have said something the first time you seen it happen. Hey, nigga, this ain't right. Now you got a problem with it because it's you. I don't respect that at all. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care who don't like it. I don't have no sympathy for you when you were willing to watch other people oppressed and you were indifferent because it wasn't you. Now when it's you, you want somebody to feel sorry for you and you want to apologize for the people who did wrong. No, you should have left when you saw it the first time. And see, we ain't talking about people saying stuff you didn't like. According to these people, they were doing people dirt. You know what I'm talking about? Like really trying to rule over people. You know what I'm saying? Really doing oppressive things to people, man. And niggas just sit there and take it. I'm not staying there with that, man. You ain't got to go. I'm gone. I'm gone. You're not supposed to sit there and deal with that. And if you see somebody get done like that, you're supposed to open your mouth. When we were talking about judgment on Wednesday, that man stands for judgment, justice, and equity. You cannot say you are of Yahuwah and you do not champion judgment, justice, and equity. There's absolutely no way. There's no way that you can say you stand for Yahuwah and you can accept oppression. As long as it's not you, nah, cuz I don't roll with that. It's like, can I have your permission? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. You got grown men asking for permission to talk. What kind of junk is that, man? I get structure and order, but goddamn. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's crazy. And it shouldn't even be like that. You know what I'm saying? Now I get some people in certain forms, your old lady might want to make sure it's cool with you if she say certain things. But at the end of the day, man, you should know your woman well enough to, if you know you got a woman that don't need to be talking in public, then don't bring her in spaces where she can talk. That means if you know she a loose cannon or this, that, there, and the third, then you would already know. We already know, don't let her talk in there. She knows she gonna cuss these niggas out. Like, that's different. You got to know your people, man. If you know your woman is a certain way, man, who cares if she talk? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, indeed, that is different. That is different. But some people have a problem if a woman would say, hey, you know what I'm saying? My husband said I can do this, that, there, and the third. But I'm just talking about, if your old lady, she a wild one. She might take off from here. You might be like, no, you can't talk from here. No, don't do that. Because I already know these people, she going to cuss all you niggas out. I'm going to have to stab a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through all that. Because I already know how she is. There's one thing you got to do. You got to know your personnel now. You got to know how your old lady is. You got to know how your husband is, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, dang. I ain't seen it yet. I forgot. I got you, bro. I meant to do that earlier, and I got caught up with them children. Yeah, you just got to know your personnel, man. You got to know what situations and circumstances to put people in and not put them in. You know what I'm saying? Same token is, if you know your woman is quiet and she don't do X, Y, Z, don't put her in no situation where she got to be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? She might not flourish in that environment. You know what I'm saying? That's not me. That's not how I roll. But yeah, these niggas be tripping. You know what I'm talking about? Grown man asking for permission. Come on, man. We grown in here, man. You know what I'm saying? Most of us ain't even that far away from age to be doing all that. I could see if you asked your daddy for permission. I wouldn't care how old you were, just because that's the level of respect you have for your daddy. I would, because some niggas, I wouldn't dare do that. I ain't gonna say that. Some men have, and some women have, a high level of respect for their father, and I would never disregard or disrespect anybody that felt like, oh no, I gotta ask my dad. But you grown though, don't matter. My daddy present, that's my father, that's what I do. But a nigga you on who loins you ain't even come from, that nigga didn't die for you. You asking him for permission? That's crazy work. You know what I'm talking about? That is crazy work. So you gotta draw a line somewhere. Yeah. That's too wild for me. I don't want that type of responsibility. You know what I'm talking about? That's too much responsibility. I don't want that. That's how people get corrupted with power. When you give somebody that much responsibility over people, man, they ain't gonna know what to do with that. You think something positive gonna come from that? Once they start throwing out rules and you can see the balance of power is completely in their hands to dictate how everything go. And I ain't talking about in the assembly. I'm talking about in people's personal lives. When it start bleeding into that, you know what I'm talking about? And even with the assembly, that, you know what I'm saying, that's got its boundaries. When it start bleeding into that and they start seeing people going for that, oh man, that power might corrupt them. That's too much responsibility. You know what I'm talking about? You might not know how to handle that. Yes, I used to ask Dad, can I speak freely to you to make sure I didn't disrespect or set him off? Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Prayerfully, if your father's alive or you had a good rapport with him, prayerfully, that level of respect should be there to the day he died, regardless of how old you were. We seen that with them Rechabites, where they dad, these grown men, they daddy told them, you bet not go build no house and do such and such and do that. And they didn't, as grown men. You know what I'm saying? But that's a different culture. It's when I say culture, meaning the law, it's 5 elements of culture. It's different. They live different than we live different now. A lot of niggas look, I'm grown, I ain't listen to my daddy. Daddy can't tell me what to do. Who he think he is? That's your pride talking, cuz. What that mean? You know what I'm saying? Most of your parents ain't gonna order you around anyway. You know what I'm saying? When you get to a certain point, and when I say order your rhyme, I mean like, but I would hope like, shoot, my mama let mom say, I need you to do 1, 2, 3. You just do it, cause mom told you to do 1, 2, 3. Pop say, hey man, I need y'all to go do this here, man. I gotta go to the doctor. It's just done. It's not, oh, I want to do that. Well, you got me to do that. Well, you can't do that. You was a hoe, nigga. Because his worst fear was that I ever embarrassed him in public. Absolutely. If your child ain't got no cares or concerns with embarrassing you in public, they don't have the proper level of respect for you. And that's your fault. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. I ain't talking about they may do it. I'm talking about they don't have no care or concern or regard for embarrassing you in public. They don't respect you. That's quite possible. Yeah, they don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they don't respect you. They should be like, oh no, I wouldn't dare to embarrass my daddy. I'm more worried about him embarrassing me. Yeah. Let's just come on, sit, man. It's done crazy. What we have?
We go to number 27.
Yeah, read. Yeah. So we're dealing with that with the leading out and the going in. Because he says, Zebulun rejoice in the going out and Issachar in your tents. So I want to share with you going out. I got to see you good, man. This junk ain't charging no more. You just cut back on. And then it cut back off. 30 phase hold. There we go. So when we look at going out, and of course this is yasa, to go out, to come out, to exit, to go forth, to be delivered, to bring out, to lead out. So he that is exalted said, rejoice. Exalted in your deliverance. And then, of course, Issachar in your tents. Then they shall call people unto the mountain to offer sacrifices of righteousness. So give me Isaiah 2:1.
Say the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Yehuda and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days, the mountain of Yahuwah's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
He said there's a line in Judges 5 where Zebulun have the officers. Read that, then we'll grab it. Go ahead. What you read?
It shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. And many people shall go and say,
what they gonna say?
Come you and let us go up to the mountain of Yahuwah, to the house of Elohim of Jacob. He will teach us of his ways, we will walk in his paths.
We will walk in his paths.
Out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of Yahuwah from Jerusalem.
Now, when we look at sacrifices of righteousness, now this is a multitude of things, and now my time perception is off. So I think we had almost 2 hours. I'm not sure. Or over that, either way.
Just about up 2 hours.
So who can remember at the time that we can ascertain when the Mashiach would return? What time can we look in the word, thank you, Mama Steph, and we can see that the Lord will return? What time period? Some of you who've been here for a while should answer this and answer this with haste, because you're sharp and intelligent people. Good memory. You don't smoke no marijuana. You don't drink no alcohol. Your brain cells are still present. Indeed, ingathering, tabernacles. So when you see him saying that you're going to go out in your tents, and then they shall call the people unto the mountain. So they go, what that is, Isaiah 27:12. And this will bring in your 1 Thessalonians 4, when the voice of the archangel in a trump, and the dead and the Mashiach shall rise first. Come on with us here.
And it shall come to pass in that day, Yahuwah shall beat off from the channel of the river unto the stream of Egypt, and you shall be gathered one by one.
Gather one by one.
Or you children of the Asherah. And it shall come to pass in that day.
What's going to happen?
The great trumpet shall be blown.
The great what?
Trumpet shall be blown.
Yes, sir.
And they shall come which are ready to perish in the land of Assyria.
They come that are ready to what?
Perish in the land of Assyria, and the outcasts in the land of Egypt.
So, and then they could be able to come up to make sacrifices of righteousness. Because these ain't gonna be no sacrifices of no bulls and goats. These would be the sacrifices by faith. How do we know this? Psalms 50 and 4. This is how we know this. And then we'll come to Judges 5 and 11. Or 5 and 10. Shoot, make it maybe 9. Go ahead.
He shall call the Shamanese from above and to the earth that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together.
Gather my saints together to make a covenant with me by what?
Sacrifice.
Gather my saints together to make a covenant with me by what?
Sacrifice.
My God today. If you make a covenant with him by sacrifice, that would be the sacrifices of righteousness. You would only make that sacrifice based off your belief in the word that he spoke. Not sacrificing no bull and no goat. The man don't want your goddamn animals. What the hell he gonna do with that? You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that nigga think he want that. Because he told you that in Jeremiah. I ain't never tell your forefathers nothing about no sacrifice. He said, man, put them sacrifices up and eat flesh. I told you to do what I told you to do. Obey me. That's what I told you. You know what I'm saying? Niggas feel justified with a lamb. These niggas happy because they went outside and slit a lamb's throat. I remember a year ago, dude told me, y'all don't eat lamb on Passover. I said, if they cook it. Man, we ain't roasting no Passover lamb, cuz. Because if you're going to make a lamb, you got to make it how he told you to make it. If that's what you're going to do. It's got to be firstborn without blemish. You got to roast him whole. You got to sacrifice him how he said to sacrifice him. If you talking about this is Passover lamb, this is eat what you want. Indeed. I just ain't want to read it, but the parable in Matthew 13 and 30 it is. But shoot, it's on deck now, so we might as well. You didn't put it out there. Judges 5 and 9. Of course, this is the song sang by Deborah. So if this is a song sung by Deborah, what does it mean, Civic? This is a prophecy.
I said, my heart is toward the governor.
My heart is towards who?
The governor.
What they did.
Of Yasharal that offended themselves.
No,
willingly.
they didn't offend themselves, sir.
Offered themselves.
Man done smoked the marijuana. They done offer themselves what?
Willingly.
Offer themselves what?
Willingly.
That's the same thing you look here, man. You have to be willing. Go ahead and tell them what offer themselves is. He talking about they offended themselves. That made me think about that video I see. Did y'all watch that clip that I sent y'all, man? When the grandma came in there and caught her son in there playing with himself? Well, she cussed that nigga out. You hear me? Well, I ain't heard nobody curse that aggressively in a long time. Well, she said, you filthy Mitch, you dirty Mitch, you trifling MF. I said, my Lord. She said, you got the whole living room smelling like semen. I said, what are you in there doing? And then the crazy part was, it was a bathroom adjacent to the living room. And how did you have the whole living room smelling like your inside? What is you in there doing? I'd have cussed him out too. Boy, I'd have cussed him out. Man, you know them. Man, you know if you got a hood grandma, she coming in there, boy, she ain't sparing no words with you, boy.
What you doing that?
And she caught him in the act. You got this stuff all on my furniture. She said, go in there and take a bath. You trifling MF. I say, Lord have mercy, man. What is you doing, boy? That's when you know he need a job. You know what I'm talking about? Well, you need a job, boy. You could have went in the living room, cuz we got to sit on this furniture. He might have had to fight me. That nigga nasty. You know what I'm talking about? That nigga. Well, she said, it smells like, she didn't say semen. She said, it smells like semen in here. You nasty MF. My sheep. But he deserved that, though. There were people in the comments talking about he's going to have wounds, traumatized. Wounds? If he doing that, this ain't no little boy. This ain't no little boy. He got enough sense. You nasty, cuz. Could you imagine walking in your living room and seeing somebody on your couch? They done spilled their bodily fluids all on your couch? Shit, you lying to me. Cuss him out too. Nigga, you nasty. He might can't even live here no more. That's nasty, cuz. Like, Real deal. That's nasty, bro. I ain't got no word for that. That's just wrong. Go ahead, man.
That is nadab, to incite, impel, to make willing, to offer free will offerings, to volunteer.
It's a free will offering. And that making a covenant with him by sacrifice, nobody's forcing you to do that. You doing that on your own volition. We go back to what we read in Matthew 20, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing. You have to be willing to sacrifice yourself. You know what I'm saying? To be altruistic. Most people are not, because we live in a society that focuses on selfishness. You know what I'm saying? So to willingly give yourself up to something that is of benefit to others, but not necessarily a direct benefit to you, that's not the mind that most people have, based off the society that we presently have been reared in. Judges 5:9.
My heart is toward the governors of the Asherah that offer themselves willingly among the people. Baruch you, Yahuwah.
Speak you
that ride on white asses.
You see you that sit in
judgment
and walk by,
the way
they are delivered from
the noise of archers
in the places
of drawing water.
They shall rehearse
the righteous act.
Now see, this is what these niggas come in and see, we got to keep the feast day. That's rehearsing the righteous act. Nigga, that rehearse don't mean rehearse like in a play, you dummy. It means to recount and retell. The same way we read in Exodus that you're supposed to recount and retell your forefathers coming out of Egypt, you're supposed to recount and retell the wonderful works of Yahuwah. But just tell them what rehearse means, just in case they don't know. Just give them the whole sentence of rehearse the righteous acts. So that's a lot of camp niggas' favorite line. Yeah, it's to recount and retell. Publish the name of Yahuwah. Speak of his greatness among the heathen. Ain't that what he told you in Chronicles? He said in Psalms, I speak of your righteousness and your righteousness alone. That's the righteousness of faith. I'm going to mention Yahuwah's name. I ain't going to mention mine. I ain't going to talk about me. I'm going to let you see the power of Abba and Shamaim by Hashem Yahushua HaMashiach. Let y'all do what you do with that, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's why niggas don't like the gospel for real, because it can't be about them. You whole niggas wanted to be about them. Didn't this man tell you that my doctrine is not mine, but him that sent me? If any man do his will, you know, if I speak of myself. He said, he that speaketh of himself seeketh his own esteem. He that speak of him that sent him, the same is true, and there's no unrighteousness in him. The man gave you the game. He kept it real simple. If you want to know who a God or not, just sit back and see who they talking about. Are they talking about themselves, or are they talking about the person who sent them? If they talking about themselves, that whole nigga flop. That's what he told you. I be wondering how all these people got all this game and wisdom and street sense before they got in the word, get in the word, it all magically disappear, and y'all get duped by the lamest, gayest, fraudest, sucker hole niggas that ever walked the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, how does that happen? I told you last week, was that Wednesday? Was that? I think it was Wednesday. I came to this estimation. It really hit me right then. But I genuinely believe at this point of almost 16 years of service that I don't believe you who are like whole niggas. I'm not speaking this by commandment. I'm not speaking this by no word. I'm speaking this by permission, my own personal perspective and opinion that is exclusive to me. You know what I'm talking about? Let that be known. Now, I definitely believe before the word. Look like George Foreman just died. He did. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe you can go from a whole nigga to a real nigga. I don't know if you was a real nigga if you went to a whole nigga if you was a real one. But I don't think you can go from a whole type dude to a real one. I just don't. I believe that's something that is intrinsically in you. When I say real, I'm talking about authentically true to yourself, to your values and what you stand for, and can take accountability if you do not meet those standards because you are authentically you, not being who people think you should be, not being who people want you to be, not who you would want to be, and just perpetrating in public, but being something else when no one's watching. I'm talking about authentically and truly you. When I say a man is a hoe, I'm talking about a man who does not hold to any values, any morals, any standards, that he does snakish and disrespectful things, and of that sort, a dishonorable sort of fellow, to keep it simple. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I mean when I say, yeah, that's a whole nigga. This is a dishonorable man. I don't believe that Yahuwah like men like that. Not based off what I'm seeing, because I'm seeing too many dudes who are in positions that say that they work for Yahuwah and doing whole stuff. And that there's never any transformation from that whole nigga to a real one. So I'm starting to see that he don't like them either. And what I mean by that, in my opinion, because the word is not penetrating enough for him to dwell in them for that transformation to be made. Now, we know with God, all things are possible. Anyone could be transformed if it be his will. But I am noticing something. That's just my observation. Maybe you have made the same observation. Maybe you have not. But this is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Say, hoe is the new crooked. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Because it's a lot of stuff doing a lot of people doing a lot of soccer wicked stuff, man, and not being 100 about it. Come on with it, man. Rehearse
That
the
is
right
Tanah Sedekah.
Tanah Sedekah. Go ahead. The definition.
Tanah is to recount, rehearse, tell again, to celebrate, commemorate, to ascribe, or praise.
To tell again or to praise. Now you have commemorate or celebrate, but the main thing is to recount or to retell. And of course, that's righteous. Zadok, that's righteous. It's acts, the same word, one whole word.
Mm-hmm. Righteous acts is all one word.
So it's just recount and retell the Zadok. They ain't got nothing to do with we rehearsing the righteous acts. This ain't we ain't getting ready to do a play. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like dress rehearsal for a show. That's crazy, man. Go ahead, verse 11.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers and the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahuwah, the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Yasharal.
Then shall the people of Yahuwah
go down to the gates.
Awake, Deborah,
awake,
utter
a song,
Barak,
and lead your captivity captive, you son of Abinah.
And we know he led captivity captive and received what, Sibby? Gifts for men. Oh, there go that dowry. Come on.
Then he made them that remain have dominion over the nobles among the people.
And Yahuwah made me
have dominion over the mighty.
Out of Ephraim
was there a root of them against Amalek?
After you,
Benjamin, among your people.
Of mature
came down governors.
And out of Zebulon,
they that handled the pen of the writer.
Tell them what the pen of the writer is, man.
Pen is Shebet, rod, staff, branch, offshoot, club, scepter.
So now you got those that are of the exalted have the staff or the rod of rulership, because that's the same word that's in Genesis 49 to my rod.
And the writer is Safar.
The book.
Count.
You know, saying Safar, that's the book. You know what I'm saying? So those that are exalted, for all intents and purposes, have the Son of God in the word. What does he tell you in 1 Peter chapter 5? Humble yourself and he will do what, Sid? You know? 5 and 6. 1 Peter 5 and 6. First Peter 5 and 6.
Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Elohim.
And what he gonna do?
That he may exalt you in due time.
That he might do what?
Exalt you in due time.
He can Zebulon you in due time if you humble yourself. And what you see what described with the leaders of the people willingly offering themselves, they did what? They humbled themselves, and he exalted them in due time to lead captivity captive. Of course, I mentioned in Psalm 66, which is referring to the post-resurrection of the dead, because he ascended into heaven at this particular point. But let's come back to Deuteronomy 33, because we need to tie up Deuteronomy 28 and 68. What you back there doing? What you back there doing? You've been hanging out with my muffin too much. You're getting a little sassy. You've been learning Bonton sarcasm, and I don't like it.
That is fine. That be very fun. But it's cute.
Mm-hmm. Do I not know you, or do I know you in the biblical sense?
Sir, you know, that's what you do.
No, I just wanted to say in the biblical sense.
I know you did.
See, this nigga here.
But Jokey Joke.
Chokey joke. What this is? 1994 Martin Lawrence television show. You know, they were messing with Zara Mama Steph because she said she didn't say Martin. She said, "You who? Martin Lawrence?" It was like you. She said, "We know you're not black because you called him Martin Lawrence and not Martin." She said, "Nobody calls him Martin Lawrence." You heard that? That joke was funny. She said, "Martin Lawrence." I say, you know, it's funny because when you think about it, nobody does call him by his last name. It's probably because of the television show. But then there are people who don't get called by their last name. Denzel Washington. Nobody says Shaquille O'Neal. Hell, niggas barely say Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant. That nigga Charles Barkley, wow. But come on, let's read Deuteronomy 33:18 again. That joke was funny, though.
And of Zebulon, he said, "Rejoice, Zebulon, in your going out, and Issachar in your tents."
So they'll offer the what? Oh, they'll call the people unto
the mountain.
They shall offer the sacrifices
of righteousness,
and they shall suck of the abundance of the what?
Seas
and the treasures
hid in the sea.
Now, how can they suck of the abundance of the seas? See, we're dealing with something because he said he would be a haven for ships, and the ships referring to seamen. You know what I'm saying? Sailors, if you would. But get that Matthew 13:30. That's down the slid in that before I forget.
Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, gather you together, first the tares, and bind them in bundles and burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn.
No. That ain't it. That is the wrong thing. You got to come to Luke for that. Luke 13:35. I said 13. I should have said 12. I'm sorry. Luke 12:35.
Let your loins be girded about, and your lights burning, you yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord, when he will return from the wedding, and when he come and knock, they may open unto him immediately. Baruch to those servants whom the Lord, when he comes, shall find watching. Truly I say unto you, that he shall gird himself, and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth.
That first watch is unleavened bread, with the resurrection of the dead. And if he shall
come in the second watch.
Second watch is Pentecost, giving of the Ruach HaKodesh, or
come in the third watch
and find.
So Baruch are those servants.
And this know
that if the good men of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched, and not have suffered his house to be broken through. Be you therefore ready also.
So son of Adam,
come at an hour when you think not.
Now that third watch is tabernacles. How do we know this? Because there are 3 times where everyone must come up. Unleavened bread. You can read this in Deuteronomy 16 where we read earlier. Unleavened bread, Feast of Weeks, Feast of Tabernacles. This is where all men are required to attend and they cannot come empty-handed. You know what I'm talking about? So you had people who were part of the first and second watches, which of course happened instantaneously. You had unleavened bread. After he rose from the dead, he walked with his apostles 40 days, and then he ascended into Shamayim. Ruach HaKodesh is given after that. But now you got that third. And that third is, notice like they say, well, you don't know the day or the hour, but things have to be complete. Tabernacles is literally called ingathering. It's literally what it's called. What you think he gathering? You think he just gonna show up for unleavened bread, show up for Pentecost, and buck tabernacles, huh? You know what I'm saying? There's small other elements where we can piece that together. The beast having 3.5 years to rule. That's why we're able to ascertain that he'll start his rulership in the first year and be killed during Passover and resurrect from the dead, because his time has to end in the 7th month. Remember, the 7th month is the middle of the year. That's winter time. There is no spring. Peace, you die, man. I got you on that. I forgot to send it to you. There is no spring and there is no fall as it pertains to Yahuwah. Now, you're not a sinner if you say it's springtime. You know what I'm talking about? But we're talking about as far as your word, your law is concerned. It's summer and winter. 6 months summer, 6 months winter. So technically, with this being around, depending on who you talk to, the beginning of the year, it is officially summertime as far as Yahuwah is concerned. It's not summertime when the summer solstice hit in June. It's summertime right now. So when you get to quote unquote September, and which is obviously, as they say, September, and Sept literally means 7. You know what I'm talking about? So that's the middle of the year. That's when you're on the back end, because now you're getting your harvest ready for the wintertime on them back 6 months. So when you read a Malachi, when he say gather meat, that there might be meat in my storehouse, he talking about you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come and gather you up. And it's gonna be during tabernacle. Notice that he said the feast that if the people don't come up, they don't get no rain. And you wonder why. Now you can research these things out, you can search things out according to the testimony of the Son of God, and you can see that. That third watch is tabernacles. So you may not know what day he coming during tabernacle, but you know he is though. This man don't leave you with no inkling like you just don't have no, like he just gonna pop up on a random day in the 5th month of the year. It's gonna have significance according to the promise, according to the testimony, according to the word. It's always gonna have significance. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna be a random day in the 10th month. Oh, there go the Lord. Oh no. Oh no, it's gonna mean something. It has to mean something. That way you know it's him. If somebody pop up on a random day on the 4th day of the month, you've been done follow the devil. And that's what the beast banking on. That's what he banking on. He banking on that you don't know the word well enough, that when he pull an okie doke and it look like God, you'll say it is God and get your booty hole split. Go ahead, John 7. 7:8. Let's see what's in front of us. Go to 7:1. John 7:1.
After these things, Yahushua walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jewry, because the Yahudim sought to kill him.
Now the Yahudim,
Feast of Tabernacles was at hand.
It was at what?
At hand.
His brethren,
therefore said unto him,
depart hence,
and go into Judea,
that your disciples
also may see the works that you do.
For no man
that do anything in secret, and he himself
seek to be known what?
Openly.
If you do these things,
show yourself to the world.
Anybody who say they work for God, they try to do it in the cut so nobody can't see him. That nigga lying. You know what I'm talking about? That nigga lying. God don't hide from nobody. Go ahead.
For neither did his brethren believe in him.
Then Yahushua said unto them,
my time is not yet come,
but your time
is always ready.
The world
cannot hate you,
but me,
it hates
because you do what?
Testify
that the works
thereof are evil.
Notice that when he said that the world had a problem with it, because he was speaking against their works, that they evil. Not because you an Israelite, because you talking about, hey man, this stuff y'all got going on is evil. I know the old people like to say that's what they need. They need that fire and brimstone preaching. You know what I'm saying? But people need to know, hey, no, because that's unacceptable. That's why you seeing all this stuff going on, because somebody said to a dude, hey, bro, if you get the facsimile phallus in your anus, that's not right. Oh, where's the mercy at? Nah, you supposed to testify that's evil. Hey, bro, if you dragging your woman all through the house, man, swelling her face up, bro, that's not right. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me all these excuses and all these cockamamie rationale and reasons to talk me in a circle so I'm dizzy that I no longer think you did something wrong. No, nigga, that's wrong. You're wrong. That's evil. That's why people get angry. Nobody gets angry if you justify their sin. How many people you done seen got angry because somebody justified their sin? Nobody gets angry when you do that. Nobody lashes out. How dare you tell me I'm not wrong for being a whore? How dare you tell me that it's going to be okay? What's happening with you, man? How dare you tell me I'm okay for stealing? You mean it's nothing wrong with me sleeping with my neighbor's wife? Yeah, the minute you tell her, hey man, what you doing, bro? You know you dead wrong. You can't straighten me. Nigga get mad. They go to lashing out. We just seen it. Dude say, hey man, this man, they're trying to get back on YouTube. And if you follow him, you wicked. Oh, that's why you would support a child molester. Oh, that's why you did that in the third. That's, hey man, you only doing that because he bear witness of your deeds. They was evil. You lashing out. Don't nobody lash out when you just make them feel good about doing wrong. How many of y'all were doing wrong and you lashed out when people strengthened you in doing wrong? How many of you said, don't you tell me to do wrong? You should tell me, don't you do that? I enjoy being you. You're not a great friend. You know what I'm saying? You know you ain't supposed to be drinking. What they doing? They hand you, go ahead, get your sip. I'm telling you, bro. This true story. I can't tell y'all this. When I was selling dope, man, this black dude told me he wanted to quit. He said, don't serve me no more. I'm finna quit. I said, all right, cool, bet I got you. Because, yeah, I wanted to make money, but I care more about people than money, especially people who look like me. Like, I ain't that prep the dope gonna sell. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to be like, no, nigga, get this dope because you want it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna sell regardless. So I ain't got to serve. That nigga got mad with me because I would not serve him. But I say, bro, you told me not to. Nah, man, no. I say, nah, bro, you can't get it from me, man. You told me not to serve you. I'm not gonna serve you, bro. Because you said you, and I literally had the same conversation with him, man. I say, man, bro. I say, man, you told me you wanted to quit, bro. So that's what it is, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to believe that I was a certain type of individual to even ask me to do that. And you had to believe that I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Or you wouldn't have asked me that. You know what I'm saying? So when you asked me that, and I told you, yeah, bro, I got you. I mean, I'm not gonna serve you. And I didn't. And I believe he ended up getting off dope, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Or he might have been buying it from somebody else because he definitely stopped asking me. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I remember this one lady, she was pregnant. And I told her straight down, I don't serve pregnant ladies. She tried to send somebody else to buy it. I said, oh, I know who you came around here to get the dope for. You might as well go ahead and slide because I'm not serving you either. You know what I'm saying? Now, you got some people, they don't care. They serving whoever. And that's their business. You know what I'm saying? But me, I ain't serving no pregnant woman. If that baby come out of crackhead, it ain't going to be because of me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I mean that. Because it ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious. You have to sit back and look at certain things like when I was basically not serving you and testifying that this is evil, even though I'm doing evil with you, you got mad. If I would have served you anyway, there would have been no problem. You wouldn't have said a word. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't have said a word. But that's how that goes. So read verse 7 again.
Hey, the world cannot hate you, but me it hate, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil.
Go you up.
Unto this feast, I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet full come.
My time is not yet full come. Though he did end up sliding. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he told them how the Ruach would dwell in them for tabernacle. You know, tabernacle with them. So what we was at before. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28:68, man. Read that one more time.
And Yahuwah shall bring you into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto you, you shall see it no more again. There shall you be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy.
Now we need to establish seeds in some instances does not mean literal seeds. Sometimes it do. Sometimes it don't. Let's go to Revelation 17. Need to make sure we're in the right spot. Ain't wasting no time. 17 and 15. Because we on it's almost 11.
And he said unto me, the waters which you saw where the horse sit are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
He said the waters where the horse sit,
Mhm.
they what now?
There are peoples, multitudes, and nations and tongues.
Now back in Deuteronomy 33, it said that Zebulun and Issachar, that they should be blessed as they go out of their tents. Isn't that what it said? Oh, and you're going out and in your tents, and that they would suck the abundance of the seas. So what does this mean? To tell them what abundance means. What does it mean to suck the abundance of the seas? And they'll just mention that because it said the waters were people, tongues, and nations. So just establishing a fact that seas can be representative of people. And that's what's going to make the Deuteronomy 28:68 make a little bit more sense when we get to the main point that we want to get to with it. Go ahead, tell them what abundance means, man.
That's Shapha, abundance.
No, I just want you to see that this is a large amount, or what you're going to read here in Isaiah 60. Come over here to Isaiah 60. Give him verse 9. Matter of fact, no 9, because we don't waste no time. Verse 14.
The sons also of them that afflicted you shall come bending unto you, and all they that despise you shall bow themselves down at the soles of your feet.
Because every knee gonna bow and every tongue is going to confess.
They shall call you the city of Yahuwah,
the Zion
of the Kadash one of Yasharal.
Remember, he said that mountain in Deuteronomy 33, where you'll make the sacrifices of righteousness. Go ahead.
Whereas you have been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through.
He said they have not hated you, but they have hated me first. He said, if they hate me, they will hate you also. But it's mainly because they hated him and know not him that sent me. Continue.
I'll make you an eternal excellency.
I make you an eternal what?
Excellency.
And what did he tell you is the excellence of a man, sir? His firstborn. And you would be the what? The assembly of the firstborn. Ain't that what he told you in Hebrews 12? Continue on.
A joy of many generations. You shall also suck the milk of the Gentiles.
Now, you think you really going to be sucking milk of Yahphat's sons? Or what does this mean? You will be ciphering off their resources. Continue.
They shall suck the breasts of kings. You shall know that I, Yahuwah, your Savior and your Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob.
Go ahead.
For brass, I'll bring gold.
And for iron.
I'll bring silver.
And for wood.
Brass, and for stones, iron.
I will also make your officers peace.
And your exactors righteousness.
Now, this is going to go on because, see, this one has a little mix of the 1,000-year kingdom and the Father's kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Because one to say violence won't be hurting you. Then it go to tell you how the sun won't be light by day. And the moon won't be brightness by night. You know what I'm saying? That's something totally different. But these people going to bring their wealth to you. You know how we know this? Psalm 68 and 29 on general principle. Come on with it.
Because of your temple at Jerusalem shall kings bring presents unto you.
Because of your temple where?
At Jerusalem.
Kings going to be what?
Bring presents unto you.
Because of your temple where?
At Jerusalem.
They going to bring what?
Presents unto you.
They going to bring gifts. This is how you suck in the abundance. This is why, because you've been exalted. Why are you exalted? Because you dwell in the Son and the Son dwell in you, and you're exalted by reason of him. Now, I want to go with this aspect of dwell, which also most of you know very well. Let's go to John 14 and 21. Remember, gift or dowry, dwell, and exaltation. He said, is it important that we all keep it the same? That's what little brother called me about last night. I was telling him, it's all going to come down to how people calculate time. But I say the biggest thing what I see with these days is, because everybody, well, I don't see it as much anymore, is that it's not when the people keep it, but it's the heart of the people as they're keeping them. Because we can all keep them at the same time, but niggas' hearts messed up. What I mean by that? Passover come around, everybody want to make it a spectacle. Everybody wants you to see they fly garments. You know what I'm saying? It's like you at a big old party. Everybody, that's not what it's supposed to be about. Now, if you want to get fly for it, that's cool. If you want to decorate it, that's cool. But for most brews, that's what it's about. I'm gonna get the most expensive garment that I can purchase. We gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, this ain't no party like that, cuz this is a serious occasion. It's a joyful occasion, but it's a serious occasion at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, it's an inconvenience to my time. You know what I'm saying? It's not literally what we read earlier that they kept it with joy. Ain't it what we read in Ezra? It said they kept it with joy. It was a pleasure for them. They rejoiced. It was samak for them. It made them glad. It made their spirit rejoice to even have the opportunity. Remember, we could read in Nehemiah when it said 1/4 of the day they worship, 1/4 they read out the law, 1/4. More people, that ain't gonna bring joy to you because you worry about I gotta do this, I gotta put the kids here, I gotta do this. It's not joy for you. Most people, like we read in Corinthians, you just worrying about you. You drunk over here, you done ate this man hungry. You don't care. You know what I'm saying? So as Paul wrote in First Corinthians, purge out the little leaven up the whole lump. Purge out the leaven so you can be a new lump. You know what I'm saying? There's really more the mindset. Because most everybody really in the same vicinity. But like I say, it's how people calculate time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't calculate time the same. God was telling him some people go by the moon, but if you look in the word say a year's 360 days. The moon's not going to give you 360 days. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't know how other people keep time because other people have whole other ways of keeping time. So it all depends, man. It's really on the mindset of the people. And a lot of the people, this ain't really what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just see me in my garments, have our photo ops, going back home, be the same wicked bastard I was before I came. You know what I'm saying? Never lay in the mind that what these days represent. Like unleavened bread come around, man, you supposed to be thinking about freedom. Freedom. You know what I'm saying? Literally, free among the dead. You remember that, Coach Shay? That song's 8085? Free among the dead. Freedom. You know what I'm saying? Feast of Weeks or Pentecost, you know what I'm saying? First fruits, that's put into your mind in the regards of life-giving spirit, the production of the fruits of the spirit that we read earlier. And you see tabernacles, you should think of deliverance. You know what I'm saying? That's what it be in your mind. When you think about trumpets, you're talking about the trumpet being blown. Of course, atonement is self-explanatory. Reconciliation. You know what I'm saying? Now, these are the things that should be in the mind. Like I said, it's cool. You want to get fly for it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But when you think about when your forefathers kept that first Passover, they wasn't getting fly. Them people got kicked out. They didn't even have time for the bread to rise. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, man. They ain't had time for that. When you look at that Passover they were keeping in Ezra, man, they fresh out of captivity. It just was excited at the opportunity to worship their God in the land where they left from. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't get caught up into that. It's almost, and this is just my opinion, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, because again, y'all know I don't have experience with the church. It seems like it's just a way for people to incorporate bits of the church and bits of the world into doing this. You know what I'm saying? While you're not really locked in and focused on the real reason why you're here. You know what I mean? Like you're not here for a plate. That's a part of it, but that's not what you're here for. You know what I'm saying? You're here for your God and the works that were performed by him. That's what you're here for. And if that don't bring you joy to where you look forward with that, to why you there, that means this ain't what you want to do. Notice I didn't say happiness, I said joy. Because it said in Ezra, they kept the feast with joy. And the joy of Yahuwah is your strength, and the fruits of the Ruach is joy. You know what I'm saying? So if it doesn't bring joy to your heart and to your soul and to your spirit, I mean, that ain't what you want to do. You just going through the motions. It's just a ritualistic service for you. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. And as long as I gotta do it and it don't inconvenience me in any shape, form, or fashion, I'm cool with that. Because when I say that, most congregations do not keep that feast for the entirety of the week. It's going to be that first Sabbath and that last Sabbath, and that's it. But that's not what your ancestors did. They was out there for a week. Word, 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 worship, worship, worship. That's what they was on. The ones who did it in spirit and truth, that's what they was on. Like, yeah, that's what we here for. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? This is an appointed time. Your God has set apart a time where you could get word and rejoice in him. And niggas like, golly, man, I gotta do this, man. I'm trying to get to such and such. Damn, nigga, that's that important to you? Again, you have to readjust the way that you think. You know what I'm saying? What I heard Jason Black talking about the grocery card test. Y'all know about the grocery card test?
You leave it out and see if you bring it back.
No, he was saying if you take a woman to the grocery store, you park furthest away from the store, and then you see if she gonna put the cart back. He was saying this is how you can tell what type of woman you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
So they got cart things all throughout this parking lot.
yeah, but you know, you definitely been in parking lots and seen cars strewn everywhere.
Some people don't bring them back.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that depends on the convenience and it depends on the stuff. Walmart, yeah, ain't nobody returning them cards.
Yeah, that his point is if she don't do it, then it speaks that she possibly has low character.
I've heard that already. I return cards, so that's just me.
He was like, if she returned like this here, I'm like, I get you. You know, some people did the Bronx Tales tale. You know, you lock the door, walk around and see if she unlock it. He's like, if she unlock it, you keep her. You say, if she don't, you never see her again. I'd be like, shoot, if you unlock the door and let a woman sit down, man, with electric locks and she don't hit them locks, that's dirt. She ain't even got to reach over to unlock it. All she got to do is hit a button. You can't even hit the button. But then I don't even know if that counts, because if you hit the button on the keys, all the doors unlock. So then it don't even matter. What, you gonna lock them again? You know what I'm talking about? See if she unlock them this time.
That one.
Yeah, that's out of there.
Yeah, that's outdated.
That's dated. No, I just seen him talking about that. You know, Jason be on some other stuff sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I just put the cards back because I used to be the person to have to go get them cards. So I don't want to make it hard on the young blood who got to go out there and get them cards, man. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I feel like they put stuff out there to do. Why not just put the cart back? Not that hard.
Yeah, some people like bump that junk.
I mean, some people lazy. So.
Yeah, that's what his point was. If she leave it, she's probably lazy. This, that, there, and the third. I was like, yeah, I didn't know too many people who go to the grocery store with their old lady like that.
Oh, yeah, people do.
I see people, they be really looking like a solo mission.
I feel like it really my parents go to the grocery store still to this day.
Because they old.
They weren't old when I was young.
But they lived in a different time where that's what people did. Now I'd be like, shoot, you can go, or I'll go. You know what I'm saying? I seen a lady in there. I don't know if she was a teenager or not. She was good and pregnant. She was on the fat people school.
That's what disabled people, fat people.
But shoot, I don't ever see no disabled people on there. It's a lot of lazy people out there, period, with all them shopping carts out there. Who you telling? Nigga be like, man, bump that junk. I'm leaving this cart. Where we at with this?
John 14:21.
Come on with it.
So he that have my commandments and keep them, he it is that love me. And he that love me shall be loved of my Abba. And I will love him and will manifest myself to him. Judas said unto him, not Iscariot, Lord, how is it that you will manifest yourself unto us and not unto the world? Yahshua answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Abba will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. We will Zebulon with him. We gonna dwell with him. He that love me not, keep not my sayings, and the word which you hear is not mine, but the Abba's which sent me. These things have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you.
That's good. John 17:19.
And for their sakes, I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word.
What you say, Lord?
That they all may be one, as you, Abba, in me, and I in you.
That's right.
That they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you have sent me.
That's right.
And the esteem which you gave me, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. I and them, you and me.
That's a little Zebulon, a little exaltation. Go ahead.
That they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that you have sent me,
Come
and
on.
have loved them as you have loved me.
Go ahead.
I will, that they also whom you have given me be with me where I am.
Go ahead.
That they may behold my esteem which you have given me, for you loved me before the foundation of the world. O righteous Abba, the world hath not known you, but I have known you, and these have known that you have sent me, and I have declared unto them your name, and will declare that the love wherewith you have loved me may be in them, and I in them.
That's cool. So this is establishing the aspect of dwelling. Now, when you look at that dowry, what's the price you have to pay for him to dwell? It's sacrifice. The gift was his blood. You know what I'm talking about? I think we read that last week with Romans 5. You know, the free gift is a justification. It's his body, it's his blood, it's his life. You know, we read that earlier, man. Man can't give a price of life or ransom for his life to redeem his brother from corruption. But a ransom of a man's life is his riches. And you know, he made himself poor, that through his poverty, you might be made rich. He offered himself that ransom. Why? Because he has to be the kinsman redeemer unto Adam. Now, I'm saying all this because we're referencing Deuteronomy 28 and him being a haven for ships in Genesis 49 and how this pertains to his testimony. So as we come back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68, so we can go ahead and just wipe this on out and get on out of here. When you see that he'll bring him into Egypt in ships, Egypt is synonymous with what, Civic? Bondage. So we can read where Mashiach is taken into prison at Capheus, the high priest's home. Who took him there? The troop of men that we read about as it pertains to Gad. And then he said, where I spake unto you, and you will see it no more again, and he was sold to his enemies. How much did his enemies pay for him?
30 shekels.
30 shekels of silver was he sold to his enemies. So I seen somebody said something about they would have ratted on the nigga for the amount of money that Judas did. They thought it was $250,000. How much money is 30 shekels of silver in today's money, Civic?
$250.
$250. Nigga, Crime Stoppers pay you more money for calling in than that. You some petty thief. He say he ain't no pimp. He a car thief. He a car thief. The one outside probably hot right now. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Mama Steph. 30 shekels of silver converted in today's time is $250. This man sold the Lord out for a pair of Jordans and a t-shirt. Hell, you know what I'm saying? A little bit after tax, an authentic NBA jersey from Fanatic, because they're $199. Matter of fact, after tax, and you still got about $30, $40 to spend. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to think of something that, like in one WAP, is $250 that people miscellaneously spend money on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't think of nothing else. He said, not a Black Friday sale. Yeah, man. $250. He said, that's a greasy bastard. Sold the Messiah for $250.
A pair of AirPods is $250.
He said a pair of AirPods. He sold the Lord out for some AirPods, man. For a Jimmy Choo purse. Damn! You know what I'm saying? He sold the Lord out for a basket full of groceries. Not for some Beats by Dre, but literally, it equates to $250. He sold the man to his enemies for $250. Yeah, I do got some colognes that go for $250. Shoot, this one here this was $220. I think I had a coupon and got it for $185. But this was $225. He sold the Lord out for this.
Yeah, the taxes. It's close.
Yeah, close. He sold the Lord out for a bottle of Oman Luxury Royal Incense. Ain't that about a funky slut? Yeah, that's why he was trying to say, we can sell this for the Pope, man. We ain't getting no money. You know what I'm saying? But I just want you to want that to resonate in your mind that he sold this man out for $250. For $250.
And then tried to return.
And then tried to give it back. And the people who he sold him to, they ain't even want the money back. You know, they told him, see you to it. That's your problem.
So that's blood money.
Ain't that something? That's your money. You paid the money for the innocent blood. Now you got some morals now.
Can't put that in the treasury.
We can't put that in the treasury. You say for a TV from Best Buy.
Yeah, TV. That's true.
Might get you a Hisense TV.
That man sold this man out for a 45-inch flat screen.
Just your Chinese knockoff.
That's tough, man. You know what I'm saying? But it goes to show that, because I mean, I'm be honest with you, and it's only in my mind because of the rapper that got locked up for paying for the hit on a rapper who was killed 5 years ago. Even when you hear like when dudes pay hitmen, man, they don't be paying them dudes a whole bunch of money. Man, it'd be some of these dudes be doing hits for $5,000. $10,000. You finna throw your whole life away for $10,000 ain't no money, man. Now, when you're broke, it's a lot of money. But in reality, man, that ain't no money, man. Definitely not no money to risk going to prison for the rest of your life.
Ain't gonna be enough for no bond.
That ain't even gonna cover your bond. That's not even gonna cover your attorney. But shoot, most contract killers don't get paid 6 figures or above to kill. Anybody paying? That's not the going price for murder. Ain't that a slut? You can already see that the going price for murder was $250. That means the price to kill a man always been low. That means human beings ain't never valued life. Because boy, they sold God out for $250. But you sold your homeboy. See, these dudes, this was Joy Boy the other day, monster. This goofball nigga coming here talking about, oh, y'all niggas snitching. Because we talking about we law-abiding citizens. Yeah, I'm going to call the police on you. You know the nigga called the water guard. He told the nigga, oh, residential nigga, because he said, man, I own a home and I pay taxes. He called him a residential nigga. What you expect him to be? This man in his 40s with a child.
What else is he supposed to be?
Yeah, he talking about, I'ma just mind my business. I say, man, let me tell you something, man. I'm not a criminal no more. It came up because somebody said the word say you supposed to tell. And you are. Ain't no snitching policy with your hood. If you walk around here talking about you ain't supposed to tell, you supposed to rebuke him in private, that man ain't tell you to rebuke your brother in private, you wicked bastard. These old nasty niggas be covering up each other's sins, man. Then when they fall out with each other, then it's time to expose it. That's whole stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's whole stuff.
Not saying anything. Sure, you might as well have consented with it.
No, and true story, you might as well have consented. But see, the issue is not the fact that you consented with it. It's the fact you knew he did it, but you didn't have a problem with him doing it until you fell out. Now it's a problem. Now you want to mention it. That's whole stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's not what men do. If you had a problem with it, you would have said something right then. Not when you fall out. You want to hold it and throw it over. Yeah, nigga, you know I got some dirt on you. So he can keep his dirt on you to himself. Y'all having mud baths. You niggas gay. I don't respect that. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect that. Like I would, if I knew Sippy was around here getting high, I ain't gonna be like, I ain't gonna say nothing. Then Sippy like, nigga, I don't fool with you no more. Sippy was back there smoking weed back in such and such. So you mean to tell me you knew this man was smoking weed for 4 years and you ain't say nothing? Now all of a sudden you want to say something? Because y'all not cool no more? You a buster. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a problem for 4 years. Why is it a problem now?
Well, that's how they feel. Like you said, you keep my secret, I keep your secret.
You know what that sounds like, y'all? A Masonic fraternal organization. Because that's what they do. That's not to say that these organizations are Masonic fraternal organizations. I'm talking about the workings, because that's what they do. They cover each other's secrets up. You are not supposed to be covering up nobody's sins, man. You supposed to rebuke people in private. That's sucker stuff. That man ain't never tell you, he tell you rebuke him right then and there. They didn't rebuke Achan in private. And Korah didn't get rebuked in private either. And Miriam didn't get rebuked in private either. And Aaron didn't get rebuked in private either. And I would be willing to bet as a woman, ain't none of y'all better than Miriam in heaven at this point in your life. And she got rebuked in public. So what make you think you better than her? If Aaron, the man who had the bloodline of high priest, got rebuked in front of everybody, what make you think you better? Let's take it a step further. Moses got rebuked in front of everybody. You better than him? Well, let's take it a step further. The Son of God got rebuked in front of everybody and put to an open shame. You better than him? And he didn't even do nothing wrong. And you better than him? These niggas sick in the head. Now, if you're sold to a bondman and bondwoman, of course, you know, he said he was beholden. It wasn't possible that he could be held by the chains of death, right? And of course, you know, he became a bondman because he went to jail and nobody saved him. Remember, they said if God had said, no man saved him. No man rose him from the dead. No man saved him off that stake. So when you look at Deuteronomy 28:68, it's bigger than saying this is the transatlantic slave trade. No, this is the suffering of the Son of God showing you Zebulon. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, let's just be honest. This is one of the, and what you said is absolutely correct. But one of the biggest mistakes that we make is because we know we're Israelite, we expect a high standard from people just because of that. You should never expect that because this person professes to be the Israelite. That means absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at the profession of faith that they have, and then they hold that. See, most people have been brought into it, that we the Israelites, but they were never taught anything about godly conduct, honor, values, or respect for him. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, because what you said is absolutely right. We are supposed to be better, but the reality is that shoe. If you take 100 Israelites and put them in a room, 3 to 5 of them going to be righteous, and 3 to 5 is a stretch. And that's a harsh and sad reality. 3 to 5 is a stretch. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to group up with people who gonna exhort, encourage, comfort, and motivate and provoke you under good works for the purpose of salvation, so that you can be that group of 100 where all 100 righteous. Because most of these people don't want to be righteous because this is not what they want to do because they don't believe it. I know you hear me say that a lot because it's true. This is not what most people want to do. When you want to do something, you're consumed with it. You know what I'm saying? You're consumed with it. It permeates every bit of your essence. It pumps through your blood. It's the breath in your lungs. It's the fire in your eyes. You know what I'm talking about? No matter how you feel, and it's what gets you propelled and moving. You know what I'm talking about? It brings you absolute pleasure that can't even be described with words. It's your desire. It's everything. Like Moses said, this ain't a vain thing for you. This is your life. This ain't people's life. You know what I'm saying? They don't live it. They don't breathe it. They don't walk it. They don't talk it. It's not in them. It's not what they want. Like, and when we talk about what you want, we talking about to dwell with God, to dwell with Yahuwah, to dwell with the Almighty, the creator of Shamahim and the rest. You know, Baruch is his Kadash name. Like, this got to be what you want. Not rejoicing in a nationality, but that you want to be one with your maker. You got to want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, above all, that's why I say you got to be willing to forsake everything that you have. You got to be willing to make that covenant by sacrifice. If this is not what you want, you're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? You're just not going to do that. Because the reality of the new covenant is a covenant by sacrifice. You know what I mean? Like, straight up, well, you got to be hungry like the werewolf of London. You dig? And I'm talking about, man, a lot of people ain't that hungry, man. You know what I'm saying? That man said you got to hunger and thirst for righteousness, man. You got to hunger for that. A lot of people, they're not hungry for that. It don't propel them. It don't push them. It don't move them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Sabbath coming. I need to read some Bible. Because I need to do this because I want to do this. So this is more important to me. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't hungry for everlasting life. You gotta be hungry for that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be more important than breathing to you. You know what Job said? I esteem your word over my necessary food. You know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah, man, it's got to be that serious, bro. It's got to be that serious. If it ain't that serious, you ain't gonna. When it get tough, when it get real, you ain't gonna push through. If you find yourself out of pocket, you ain't gonna have somebody that's gonna be like, hey, okay, tighten up on your bike stroke, and then hey, we gonna walk together, make sure you be where you need to be, you move how you need to move, and you do what you need to do. They gonna, nah, man, it's okay, brother. Just man fall 7 times. They gonna justify you. Like we're watching grown people justifying a man who got caught being anally pleasured. And I'm only focused on it because that's the why. I did not think that I would see the day. Of course, it never ran across my mind because this was outside the realms of any rational thought that I could put together to where I would see a preacher of the word. I don't care, like, whether Christian or Hebrew, that I could see a man be accused and not deny initially, and then acknowledge he repent but said he didn't do it. Because I don't know how you repent of something, but you didn't do it. Of being anally pleasured. And nobody would have a problem with that as the mass consensus. For somebody who's a preacher of the word, that is amazing to me. This ain't even about the individual because I don't know him. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just talking about the situation and circumstance. I am thoroughly aghast and appalled and amazed that there are people that are like, oh, I ain't got no problem with that. I'm like, nigga, what? And when I say not a problem with it, not in regards that they agree with the behavior, but the fact that they don't see nothing wrong with this person doing this or preaching this or teaching that. Like, are you serious? This is crazy. I ain't saying that nobody got to cut him off and never fool with him. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about as a brother, quote unquote, that you just gonna be like, screw you, nigga, go to hell. You gonna listen to this nigga after this? That nigga couldn't teach me how to put my socks on. I would question it. He couldn't teach me nothing. He couldn't lead me nowhere. Let me tell you something, man. And nobody who God sent would do nothing like that. They would not.
Be blameless.
Already. I feel the same way when this is like 2009, 2010, when the dude who lead GOCC, people were accusing him of sleeping with men's wives. And then when we watched the video where he acknowledged that he was sleeping with men's wives, and I wasn't watching their videos like that anyway, but I'm like, oh, I would never listen to him. You admitted it? Oh, God not with it. And I was fresh in the word, but I had enough sense to know you're not going to tell me God sent this man, and this man around here committing adultery with other men's wives, and y'all going for this? You going for this? This man just told you, yeah, I did that. That should have been the end of it. Cut him off. As a preacher, he should be done. Why are you still listening to him? Oh, brother, I ain't trying to hear that. When you talk about your soul, I'm not trying to hear none of that. You ain't supposed to fail short, brother. You supposed to fail short before you got to this position. When you got to this position, you supposed to be standing. What you falling for? How you gonna teach me not to fall if you falling? That means we both finna fall. Because can't neither one of us know how to stand. How would Joanne be able to teach Jamal how to walk if they both crawling? How? But Joanne older than him, she supposed to know how to walk. But she can't walk because she crawling like he crawling. So how he gonna learn to do that when the person who teaching him don't know how to do it? So if you supposed to be perfect and free from sin, how can this nigga free you and he's still in jail? That means you got to have a prison break. That means you're going to go back to jail when they catch your stupid behind. Because you wasn't supposed to get out. Lord have mercy. The militant life of the Lord army, steadfast and enduring and persevering the saints. Amen. You got to think about stuff like that, man. I'm not saying that to be funny, disrespectful, cast aspersions, or be disparaging to anybody. But that's your soul you talking about. And if you don't love your soul enough to say, hey, God ain't with it. It's nothing personal. Like, I don't know what's this nigga name? Ricard. I don't know Ricard personally. So I don't have a problem with him personally. But bro, you can't get on no camera and look at me and say, yes, I've slept with multiple brothers' wives in the congregation, and I'm going to listen to anything you got to say. I'm not telling you no rumor. We watched the video ourselves and heard him say it. And then he took the video down. And when people ask him about it, I don't want to talk about that no more. Hell yeah, no, we want to talk about that. I need to know if you still doing that. He can't be your pastor after that. He can't be, it's nothing personal. Nigga, if I was out here slaying hoes, man, you'd be a damn fool to sit here and be like, well, you know, I like him though. I know they said he got caught with 15 different women, but you know, he's a good guy. You stupid as hell. You ought to go to hell. You know what I'm talking about? If I got caught sleeping with 15 different women and you still sat here, boy, you ought to go to hell. Right to hell with me because you stupid. Why is you still sitting here? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, what's wrong with you? You supposed to leave. Shit, I'm like, I'm not affiliated. That's all. That's what you're supposed to say. I can't fool with that. I can't fool with that. Not for no word. Don't mean I got a problem with you personally. Don't even mean we couldn't still be friends. I can't get no word from you, though. Not that you over there doing that. Ain't no way. These niggas don't care. This man told us this was in the realm of fantasy, Civic. This is what he said now. He made a video yesterday. This is in the realm of fantasy, but you bought the pagan kit. And you bought the lube. So you didn't fantasize, you did. Now, whether you went all the way, that's another question. But you did. You were ready, willing, and able to fulfill that action. Now, it's up to you if you believe he did it. Camp, non-affiliation in Christ. You know what? I like that. I'm not affiliated. I can't be affiliated with that. And that's no disrespect to the gentleman. That's right. Out of the heart, the mouth speak. That's no disrespect to the gentleman. But boy, you did that, boy. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, boy, you had to formulated that evil inclination in your brain, my nigga. Now, how that come in your mind? Bro, there was a congregation in Louisiana, bro, back in about 2016, man. They literally got caught being swingers. I'm not making this up, bro. This congregation, they were swingers, bro. Niggas swapping wives, cuz, in the word. Niggas still listening to these niggas, man. Nigga can't preach me no word, nigga you done banged up his wife, he done banged up your wife. I'm not finna listen to you. How you gonna teach me about righteousness, man, and you a whole punk out here? Niggas getting caught with prostitutes and all this other type of stuff. Nigga in the club every night. I'm not finna listen to no preacher who hang out in no damn club. Nigga, you been partying till 4 in the morning. Now you want to come around here at noon talking about, let me give you a word, brother. Man, get the hell out of my face. You know what I'm saying? Niggas sit there and listen to it too. Ain't nothing wrong with it, man, you know? We all human. I don't want to hear that, nigga. I ought to hit you in the head with the same Remy bottle he was drinking from. Have some goddamn sense in your brain. Nah, for real, bro. I'm talking about, man, I'm trying to think of all the wicked preachers, Doc, I done seen, boy, niggas keep on listening to them. Because I promise to you, I'd have said this from day one. Boy, if I got caught out of pocket like that, man, and you niggas still kept coming around here, you ought to go to hell. You know what I'm talking about? So you supposed to know, oh, we got to go. God ain't there. God wouldn't do that. No, he wouldn't do that. Y'all be like, shoot, everybody falls short. Nah, nigga, he ain't fall short. He knew what he was doing. You fall short when you're running too fast and you trip over your feet. You know what I'm saying? You don't trip off in no woman's vagina. You know what I'm talking about? You don't do that. You don't trip over to your phone and tap in Adam and Eve and order a facsimile phallus. That's not falling short. That's not a mistake. That's not an accident. That's a willful intention. That's a machination you put together in your mind and execute it. Like I said, now whether you went all the way like a young man on prom night, I don't know. But you damn sure was on second or third base with it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you was there. You was playing the game. You was Triple H, nigga. Time to play the game. Looking boy, that's what you were doing. You nasty. I don't want no word from you just because you had the thought and damn near went through with it. Yeah, I don't want none of that. No, sir. You know what I'm talking about? That's too much for me, God. I'm telling you, boy, that's too much for me. I can't deal with that. I find out the preacher is drunk, I'm good. You like to smoke a little crack, smoke a little weed, snort a little fentanyl. I can't get no. That doesn't mean that I ain't got love for you. But you can't teach me no word because you couldn't teach me how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't let you teach me how to put my seatbelt on. I wouldn't let you teach me how to tie my shoes. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust you with that, brother. You ruined that. You had the benefit of the doubt, quote unquote. You had a blank space till you show otherwise. You've shown otherwise. The Lord has pulled up your skirt of nakedness. Get him Nahum chapter 3, man. Probably about verse 5, maybe 4. He done pulled up your skirt of nakedness, man. I can see your drawers. You got hook slides in your drawers, boy. There's doodle stains in your drawers, boy. You're not clean. I ain't listening to you. I'm talking about. Come on, man. Nahum chapter 3, verse 4. We got to get off of here anyway.
So because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that sell nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts,
listen,
behold, I am against you.
I'm against you.
Of hosts. I will discover your skirts upon your face.
I will discover your skirts upon your face.
And I will show the nations your nakedness.
And when he say show your nakedness,
and the kingdoms your shame.
He gonna show your sin. What you seeing in these situations that don't nobody want to look at, that man pulled your skirt up so everybody could see your shame. That's what you supposed to. Man, if you ain't had no shame, you think God would have let that happen? Man, God pulled that man's skirt up so you could see that. And then the nigga who tried to pull his skirt up, the Lord was like, nigga, your panties dirty too. Let me pull your skirt up so they can see your shame. Man, that man will do it to you every time. Sounds like the man has some facsimiles. Whoa, I ain't even read that part. Well, you a different type of dude to get a facsimile phallus. Let me tell you something, man. If you get a facsimile phallus, you are gay. You know what I'm talking about? You are gay. You are gay. You know what I'm saying? You're not even gay adjacent. You are a homosexual. You were fantasizing about being pleasured by a male member. And you thought you could make it better because the woman was handling the facsimile member. So since it wasn't a man, you felt like, okay, I'm not gay. No, sir, you are homosexual. You want a man. And you trying to do this to make yourself feel comfortable because it's a woman doing it. Sir, you are gay. You are gay. You have what's the word? You have unnatural affections. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She said, I feel like that would eventually lead. Shoot, it ain't got to lead to one. Shoot, he's already having intercourse with a man. He got a man member. He want a man. But see, let me tell you something. Men who come from, especially if they come from a hypermasculine environment, they have to maintain a certain image because of that, because they can't come out and be exposed for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't look good in that hypermasculine environment. That's why you see the lashing out. Some things you have to look at, and you have to put your psychology school class hat on and pay attention to the human behavior. You know what I'm saying? Strip away that is who it is, whatever perception you have of them, and just remove them from the equation, period, and just look at the actions and listen to the words, and you can get insight into the mindset of what this person may or may not have going on. You know what I'm saying? Based off the situation and circumstance. Most people don't do that because you're more in tune with that person. You know what I'm saying? I don't know him, so I don't care. Even if I did know him, I still don't care, because I'm going to look at how you respond to what is being said. Your responses to outside stimuli is going to give me insight to make an assessment if you're participating in this behavior or not. When I see a man get accused of a certain type of behavior and he go to weeping and looking stupid and talking about, I did this and I did that, that let me know you did that. When you begin to lash out against other people, that lets me know, okay, you did that. Because that's a defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? When you run across down low men, when they get exposed like that, they usually respond in defense mode, and they usually respond with violence because of the embarrassment of being exposed. Because they would have rather kept that quiet or announced that themselves. You know what I'm saying? So that fear of getting exposed is why they respond in such a helter-skelter type of way, mentally and emotionally, to that, because they're really scared, because now the person who they actually are is being shown to the world versus the person that they want the world to believe that they are. So that's why when he came back with bravado and toughness. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm trying to because the people were not as repulsed as he anticipated them to be. I say that because on YouTube looking like Jimmy Swagger, hell no, I have sinned. He didn't say that part, but I'm trying to give you some insight stuff to pay attention to stuff, right? So when he said 98% of the responses was positive, I could tell based off body language, vocal tone, that he was shocked by that. He wasn't anticipating overwhelming positive affirmations. You know what I'm saying? So when he seen that, that strengthened him to be like boom, 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 because the blowback, pause, you know what I'm saying, in this situation was not as harsh as he anticipated it to be. And then he began to lash out against those who he perceived to be his enemies, because now I can revert, and I'm with you, RT. He would never be masculine to me either. I can be back to this hyper masculine man that I purported myself to be before. That lets me know, no, you participate in this behavior because you're responding psychologically in all the cues that I'm familiar with of someone who's exposed for being down low. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? Nothing personal, just looking at the behavior. Yeah, you did that. You know what I'm saying? Do I have definitive proof? Of course not. But, behavioral assessments. That's a different thing, man. You know what I'm saying? I studied that stuff, looked into it. You know what I'm saying? Body language stuff, Mama Steph know what I'm talking about. You join the police force, you get to a certain point, they teach you about that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Where you can make, and this is how you would know because this is where people mess up, because you don't know about that type of stuff. You don't pay attention to you won't know what questions to ask to actually get the answers out of him that you want. See, most people are going to ask questions that's going to make him defensive and shut down. Shalom, Sister Keller. Or ask questions to make him defensive and he want to fight. Versus knowing how to ask him questions to set him at ease so you can extract the information out of him that you want, to eventually he'll tell on himself. And then then you got what you wanted. That's why when they tell you, they put you in an interrogation room, that's why they tell you to be quiet. Them people trained in pulling that information up out of you. You know what I'm talking about? Oh no, I just studied, see? My wife bought me this book because these are things that I read in my lifetime. I've always been fascinated with human nature and the psychology of the mind, of why human beings do the things that they do. You know what I'm saying? Along with some skills that I picked up from my mother and my auntie and other gentlemen in my lifetime, some teachers, some professors. So you don't get caught up out here. You know what I'm saying? So because especially being in the streets, you had to understand, you gotta be 3, 4, 5, 6 moves ahead of people. So you know how to move. Because like I said, in that situation, that's a combustible situation. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have someone who's scared and frightened because they've been exposed in a particular type of way. You got to know how to talk to and handle that person because you don't know what way mentally and emotionally they're going to respond. Like, not even being funny. Can you imagine as a man, God forbid, I mean, I don't want you to imagine this because this is going to be disgusting. You get put out there for ordering a pegging kit, and you get put out there for your woman sodomizing you, and you get put out there for saying you cannot pleasure me with a member that's bigger than what I pleasure you with. That's embarrassing. Now, I'm not saying none of this to be funny. I'm saying for you to understand the mindset that the public hears this about you. This is not something you wanted people to know. You know what I'm saying? This gets put out here. You have to deal with this out the blue. You didn't know it was coming. You purport yourself to be a strong, masculine figure, a godly figure, and you get exposed for this. That can put that person in a very dangerous mental and emotional state to where if they don't harm someone else, they can harm themselves. You would need to know how to communicate with that person for no other reason to be able to assess their mindset to make sure they don't hurt themselves or somebody else. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's serious now. I know we be joking about it, but I'm being dead serious right now. Well, that's not no light matter like that, bro. For real, for real. You know what I'm saying? People respond. Men have killed people who have exposed them for that type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at, okay, this going on. He said this. Why is he saying that? And this will tell you how to deal with people, period. This is all dealing with what the Lord told you, what he told you to be civic. Wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. That means you have to have more finesse and more skill than that. Especially when you're moving around people who don't have any constraint on their behavior. Because you serve God, you can't do whatever you want. The most of the people you come in contact with, they feel like they can do whatever they want. So you have to be smarter than them. You have to outthink them because you got to be a way to be able to be ahead of them without harming them. So that takes time to stop, pay attention, listen to people when they talk, pay attention to their body language, listen to their vocal inflection, listen to their vocal tone, listen to how they respond to certain things that you say, when you say them and how you say them, because you know why you're saying what you're saying. You should know that when you ask people certain questions, you know you're trying to elicit a certain response, and you know when you get that response, what that response is telling you, because you know why you asked it. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't do that, you just talking for the sake of talking. Because that nigga gonna hurt somebody. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga come at him the wrong way, he gonna hurt somebody. Straight him down. If he gonna hurt somebody. Like I said, he was shocked when he said he got overwhelming positive responses. He wasn't expecting that. Would you expect that? I didn't. So that tells you how degenerate as a people we are. But nevertheless, back to the main point. When you look at Zebulun or dwelling being a haven for ships or a place for ships to dwell, that's showing you that Yahushua is a place for man to dwell and for him to dwell in man and man to dwell in him, as we read in John 14 and John 17. So when you see that, hey, Yahuwah will bring Yahushua into bondage again with men. Because you weren't brought into bondage with men into Egypt. You came into Egypt free. Let's get that straight. But you went back into bondage. So he went back into that. And he didn't see it no more again. And he was sold to his enemies for 30 shekels of silver. He became a bondman, and no man purchased him because his father did. We'll stop there because we definitely about 3.5 plus hours. Hallelujah for y'all shop the word. I just felt like giving y'all a little insight into what I saw psychologically into that, just me personally. You know what I'm saying? Like I might be kind and like this here, but like if I'm talking to somebody on some real stuff, like in real life, I don't come at them of how you might see me act funny in public. You know what I'm saying? I take certain matters like that very, very seriously. It's very sensitive. You're dealing with people's emotional state. You don't want to push nobody over the edge. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all and bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of y'all. I love y'all. Yahuwah willing, we'll be back on tomorrow, 2:30, 3 o'clock sometime. Remember, not next week, but the week after. April 1st, evening of, beginning of Passover, unleavened bread. We're going to be having service every single solitary day till it ends. You're welcome, Mom Steph. And I'll get that information over to you shortly. All right, free. So remember, from April 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, so on and so forth, till the feast ends, service every day. You know what I'm talking about? I need to put that in the community tab. God willing, I remember that and don't forget. As far as times is concerned. Shalom, brother Joseph, man. Peace, brother Marcus. Who are Baruch, man? Love you too, bro. So yeah, man. But just pay, because just pay attention to that type of stuff, man. People won't. Basically, if you know what somebody's on or what they're gonna do, shalom. Sorry to you. What? You who Baruch, shalom. If you know what people gonna do, yes, ma'am. Get rid, and Sister Kelly let me know. Get rid of the yeast and get rid of that sin. On top of that, you know what I'm talking about? But if you shalom, Eric, man, amen. If you know what people gonna do before they do it, by you getting a good read off of them, then people can't piss you off. You know what I'm saying? Or they can't do X, Y, Z because I already know what you're gonna do before you do it. Then I know how to move because I'm really telling you that this is to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? More so than this person, because that person got to deal with whatever they did on their own. They got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to deal with that. He got to wrestle and deal with that. But I need to know how to navigate and move around you. You know what I'm saying? Because this is people crazy out here. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Same way this dude, he getting on here lying, he beating up his old lady. Okay, that was some years ago. But shoot, if you lying about it right now, that would telling me to believe that quite possible that you would beat up a woman now. See, when I see a nigga lying about his behavior or minimizing what he did or trying to make himself to be the victim in something, that tells me you still capable or you still are participating in that behavior right now. People who don't participate in behavior anymore, they own it. Yeah, man, I was dead wrong, boy. I had them boxed up, dragged her through the house, man, slapped her up. You know what I'm saying? I was out of pocket for that one now, man. I'm glad she didn't call the police on me and went to jail. I was dead wrong. Yeah, man, I shouldn't have did that. That would lend me to believe it's quite possible bro might not do that again. But when you be like, oh, nah, it was really like this, it was really like that. Oh, nah, that nigga still beat up women because getting mad enough, especially describing that he sound like the type of a bully. I'm going to only swing on people who I think I can whoop, which is the biggest whole nigga of them all. You know what I'm saying? Like you are a literal, you already know, a lady parts type of nigga. To pick on somebody you know you can whoop. Like you'll do that with a woman, but you won't do that with a man. Now we all know it's dudes who hit women and they be like, I'm gonna call my people. Call them, ho. That nigga crazy. He don't care. You know what I'm saying? When you got a dude and you be like, you finna call your people, and he like call him, he gonna wait on him, and like he really standing out there waiting on him like he ready to bump. Yeah, baby, just leave him. Don't even call your people around. Now just leave him. He don't care about going to jail. He don't care about fighting nobody. He ain't got good sense. Leave him alone. When you got that dude, he be like, no, I'm calling. I'm sorry, baby. You ain't got to do all that. He's a hoe. He don't want to fight no man. You still need to leave him. You know what I'm talking about? But that nigga a hoe. And from what I can tell, that nigga right there a hoe. That nigga a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody who represent God hit no woman in the mouth, much less dragging her through the house butt booty naked and throw her out the door. Ain't no man of God doing that. These dudes can make you believe anything they want you to believe. No man who got the spirit of God and the word of God in them is dragging no woman through his house butt booty naked. Because you know what he would do if she was acting up like that? He gonna push her, she gonna push him, and he gonna push 911 and call the police, and she going to jail. I'm not doing none of that with you, baby. You're gonna have to go to jail today. So Liz, I ain't finna argue with you, I ain't finna fuck with you, I ain't finna drag you going to jail. But you know this nigga call himself an elder, Civic. You know how old the nigga is? How old you is, Civic?
I'm 32.
He your age. Got you by a year or two talking about he an elder. I need to find the oldest baseball bat I can find and slap that nigga in his goddamn mouth. Knock all his damn teeth out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? And these the people you niggas listen to. I would never. And I'm gonna tell you, because these dudes are representative, because see, they just, let me tell you something, right? When you look at when the Lord spoke, the Lord never cast any aspersions, rebuked harshly common people. Never. You won't find it. But them who purported themselves to be teachers of the word, he kept his foot on their neck. That's why I'm talking about it. He kept his foot on their neck, as you supposed to. Them niggas ain't supposed to get passage. That's why they wanted to kill him. It wasn't the common people who wanted to kill him. It was the teachers who wanted to kill him because he was calling them out. He was calling them out. You wicked bastards, you dirty face, no good nigga, you. And that's what you're supposed to do to them niggas. That's what you're supposed to do. Same way we told you, the nigga die around here taking niggas' whole checks. Niggas giving up all their bread. These niggas living on land. These niggas don't even own it. This nigga supposed to be boning niggas' old ladies. Like, man, what's going on? You niggas cool with that? You can't be cool with that. Talking about God blessing this ministry. Nigga, how? Grown man tell you give another man his whole paycheck. Say it with pride, too. I ain't tell you what a nigga told me. These people put the video out for you to see it. That's why I told y'all when it happened. I said, boy, if any of you niggas ever walked to me and gave me your whole paycheck, boy, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to shoot me a fade right then and there on the spot. Don't ever disrespect your manhood, your daddy, or your family by doing no goofy behind junk like that, man. Hell wrong with you. What's wrong with you? You think the Lord co-signed that? Yeah, go ahead and give him your whole check. Man, I think the Lord would stick an arm from heaven and slap the fire out you if he could. Not to say that it wasn't possible, that's just not how he operates. You know what I'm talking about? But I guarantee you, if he, man, stick a hand down from heaven and slap this nigga in his damn mouth. What's wrong with you, boy? And as a preacher, why would you take it? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about definitely happily admitted to give Shepley. Absolutely. And definitely a psych valve is in order. Man, you gotta, man, I'm promising you gotta shoot me a fade, cuz. Nah, man, what is you doing? What are you doing? There's not no amount of preaching any man could ever do that would justify you giving him your whole paycheck. None. And no man who worked for God would take it. You know what I'm saying? No man who worked for God would tell you, I'll take your check and then tell you what I'm going to give you out of your check. Man, look here. And it be most sour stuff out here people be talking about they be going through, man. That junk is crazy, bro. But that's what they like. You know what I'm saying? That's what you like. You bet not. Get out of here, man. It's almost midnight. But that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But that's what's going on out here, though. That's what's going on out here. And that's why y'all got to know what the words say. They say bring the manuscript class. Yeah. Yeah, that's when they say you don't take care of your own. Whoever don't take care of his own, especially they of his own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. You can't say you of God, you don't take care of your household. You know what I'm saying? Can't do it. You denied the very God whom you profess, you do that. But boy, you gotta be a wicked nigga to even ask a grown man to even feel. I don't even know how nigga feel comfortable enough taking that. You took his whole jet? Bruh. Again, you could get on YouTube, you could find the video, shoot, dial and put the video out. They the ones put it out. I seen that, I was like, oh no. Nigga, no. You know what I'm talking about? That's why and that's why we read what we read earlier, man. We ain't supposed to be ruling over each other like that. That's not how this supposed to go, man. You know what I'm saying? That's not how this supposed to go. That's not how is you supposed to look out for the man? Sure. But not like that though. You know what I'm saying? Not like that though. No, they don't even get ranked. Let me explain how they operate that. So they tell everybody it's all things in common. So basically, you have to give up everything you have in common. But in reality, he's in control of all the resources. So people sell everything they got. They move on whatever compound. They don't own the land that they're living on, and they don't own the trailer that's on the land. So effectively, they have nothing, and they work on the land for free. So they build up the land with no compensation, just all things in common. Mean modern day, mean scam to say the least. Mean scam to say the least. That junk is tough to even see. Say my bro father was a pastor and didn't contribute to helping him grow up, and even went to speak to him as wow. So they feel compelled based off of Acts 2 to give up everything they have for the benefit of the congregation. That's how he frames it to them. You know what I'm saying? Which is why when all that stuff came out last year during Unleavened Bread, that we looked at that because I was appalled and I needed to make sure that y'all knew what that's supposed to look like. Because I was shocked and amazed that y'all going for this? They was going for that though. That's why Peter told you it's men out here who will make merchandise of you. You got people out here, man, they ain't got no care, concerns, or regard for your soul. And you'll get caught up in cult of personality, and because you think that they know a little bit word better than the Christian church you went to, and these people out here trying to devour you whole. No pause, literally. Trying to devour your soul and leave you as nothing. That man says ravening wolves. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be equipped and armed with the game so these people don't put you to no shame, because the devil is definitely not playing no games, and he is out here on your behind. You understand what I'm telling you? And when I say out here on your behind, working through these men who have no fear, care, or concern or regard for Yahuwah in any shape, form, or fashion. I am not sure who pays any of that, honestly. I'm not sure. They're probably tax exempt. They probably would. I'm not sure. I just know that he rules over them people with an iron fist. And a lot of the things as far as how they operate, we know them because he puts out videos talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like secondhand. He telling it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely saw a video years back he put out where a woman sold her house for about 200 racks. And then he was bragging how she dropped all the money down at the apostles' feet. An older lady, too. I wouldn't even allow that woman to sell her house. Because how he framed it is that it's to get you out of debt. Because the borrower is the servant to the lender. So you sell your house so you can be debt free, and you bring the money to the congregation, and now you can live on the land for free, and you're no longer in debt. But all the equity from your asset went to him, and there's that. Yeah, this stuff all over YouTube. That junk's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. I think when people said last year was the year of exposure, it might be the year of exposure on the Israelite side of things for wicked men and false prophets. But he's been getting exposed all of 2024. They've been on his neck for about a year and some change. But you know what I'm saying? What Cuz did with Cap, that jump was kind of gay. He ain't really had nothing. That's how I know that was an emotional reaction due to exposure and non-compliance of support. You know what I'm saying? More than actual, I want to expose you because you didn't say nothing. You know what I'm talking about? So that's also another angle with that behavior. But yeah, gotta be careful out here, man. Like I tell y'all, you can get the word from anybody. You know what I'm saying? You just need to make sure they know what they're talking about. You need to make sure the word of God is in them, that they live by it, and that they know what they're talking about. Because I do not have what you call it, an exclusive license on the word. You know what I'm saying? Should be able to get the word from anybody, but you just need to make sure they know what they're talking about. Because most of these people don't care about your soul. I can tell you that. But let's get off here. See if we're gonna go home. Doris probably sitting at the door rocking. I want my husband. Y'all will it, man. Till tomorrow, we'll rock out. She don't care about you.